One, two, three. Kia ora and good morning to this week's episode of the Solo Sessions. My name is Dave, and these sessions are just a weekly recap of what's been going on, anything that is topical, trending that's caught my eye that I want to cover, and a little mini solo podcast that I put out every Monday. To kickstart this episode off, I have been to Palmerston North this weekend, aka P Naughty. It's a city in the North Island of New Zealand for a CrossFit competition. Now, this was my first competition ever, and oh my gosh, let me just start by saying it was so much fun. It was incredible. I have been to CrossFit competitions before and filmed them a bunch and watched people compete, and it's been like, oh, okay, it looks cool. But man, to actually compete, it was insane. It was amazing. This was a competition called the Taurus Trios. Now that means there's 3 people per team. The first event kicked off at something like, the first heat of the first event was like 5:30 in the morning, and it was down at a local pool. I think it was called like Lido Pool or something in Palmerston North, 50-metre pool. The event was a combination of a salt bike, which is like a machine that we use in CrossFit, and swimming. I'm telling you all of this because this is like I'm not going to break down every workout, but this was like the first event is the hardest, I think, personally, just because, man, out of nowhere, I was filming the initial heats as I do, and then when it was like, wait, my heat's up 2 heats away, my heat's up next, all of a sudden I was like, I don't know, I felt this feeling that I had not felt in years, which is like that before you go out to compete, that feeling that I used to get when I played rugby or when I play football for a club or really any sport. It was terrible. I was like, oh my God, like my heart rate was up. I was freaking out. Like I was like, I just can't focus properly and I'm stressing out. And then it was 3, 2, 1, go. It started. And then I just took a few deep breaths, jumped on the machine, made some mistakes along the weekend of just like silly things because I was not thinking properly. I was just too busy, I don't know, doing whatever. But man, once I was in the water swimming, once I was on the bike, I was like, this is me. This is just like a workout where you just put your head down and try to manage your heart rate and go as hard as you can. And it was so much fun. It was mint, just with a full setup and people cheering you on. And we were competing against a bunch of different people from all over New Zealand, but also a bucket load of people from our own gym, like the 6th Army, which is like the name for the people who go to our gym. They turned up. We had a massive crew, so it was fun. Like it was just mean to, in a way, it felt like you were just doing an everyday session, but with judges and all that sort of stuff, which was freaking. It was just cool. Like I'm gonna go back to the gym and just highly recommend anyone who's doing classes. If you've not done a competition, you need to do one. It was just the neck level. It was just really, really cool. Like it just kind of made all of the sessions and all the training that you put in, it made that, like, I don't know, not worthwhile, but like, because it's fun for what it is, but I just took it to the next level. It was freaking pretty cool. Now, another thing that I'll cover, is the handstand element of this whole weekend. For those who are interested, I cannot do a handstand. I can't do handstand push-ups, and it's been something that I've just put off. That I've been like, oh yeah, like, nah, I don't need that. I'll just do the little scaled option and I'll be fine. And then it was about 5 minutes before we were meant to hit the floor. And in this workout, at least one person in our team of 3 had to be able to do handstand push-ups. So we were like, mean. Then the workout came out and it was like 80 of them back to back, which is pretty hard. And so the one guy that we had who could do them was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, I don't even know if I'll be able to survive that. So as part of the workout, he had to be doing handstand push-ups while the other people in his team had to be holding like a handstand on the wall. And for me, I don't even practice that often because I have to do these stupid like wall walks back up the wall, and they're like tiring and it's awkward. And I always have been like, man, it'd be nice to be able to kick up. You can just kick up and lift your legs and away you go. I never worked on that. Never worked on that at all because I plummeted my head and my neck into the ground too many times just trying to wing it when I've like just been trying to teach myself. And then 5 minutes out from the heat when we were about to go in, I was like, I should probably learn how to kick up. And there were some guys in the tiny warm-up area like, oh yeah, give it a go. And my team were like, yeah, let's help you out. So I practiced a bunch. They gave me some pointers. And within like 3 minutes, I was kicking up and just holding a handstand, not touching the wall. And I couldn't get the last little part where my legs were. Oh yeah, I was so close. And it was only a few minutes. I was like, idiot, why did I not dedicate some time to practice this in the coming weeks? So now it's like first priority on my list. I'm like, I just want to nail handstand push-ups. I just want to dedicate time to that because it sucked having a weakness like that where I just couldn't even do one of the movements. It was pretty dusty. But in the heat of the competition, I was doing those wall walks, and that was fine. I was holding them fine. But then I was like, the guy, Spencer, who was doing all our handstands, he was resting at one stage. And I looked around like, man, it'd be cool if I got my first kick up in a competition. So I was like, right, let's do this. Go to kick up and just, boom, slam my back on the wall and just drop down to the ground. And then I'm like, didn't get it. Turn around, quickly do a wall walk and we're away. But I was like, hopefully no one spotted that. And then my friend Callum afterwards was like, yeah, I saw you attempt a kick up. Yeah, good try. But yeah, no. So, okay, overall recap. Yeah, it was a blast. It was fun. I knew we weren't there to compete for any podium spots or anything. We were just kind of there to survive, and we did. We survived really, really well and kind of exceeded our expectations on a bunch of workouts, actually. So shout out to Jared, aka Uncle, and Spence for being in a team with me. It was bloody fun. I'm heading to Aussie in about a month's time for another comp, and that is to film. It's called the Oz Champs, and it's like big dogs over there. So I'm pumped to watch them now that I know what it's like pre-event, the eating in between events, all of that jazz, a bit more of the backstory. That's kind of part of the reason I wanted to do one. I was like, that's it. I'm going to do one competition, then I'm out. I'm just going to film them. But now I'm like, ooh, that was fun. I want to do another one. Okay, enough CrossFit chat. I'm just going to look on my list here. Ooh, something that I need to cover for the solo sessions. I mentioned I lost my drone and GoPro. Here's an update. Drone, still lost. Damn it, I'm gutted about that. And I've not purchased another one. I have not even touched the controller because I've been hectic in the last week, which I'm gutted about. But the GoPro, I got a message later Monday afternoon being like, hey, I've got your GoPro. Call me one of the coaches / the owner of the gym. He had spotted it and picked it up on the day. So you beauty, I still have a GoPro. So thank God for that. Next thing I want to cover is, I jotted down here YouTube series. I at the gym, oh my gosh, this is so gym related. At the gym that I work and train at, it's called +64 Fitness. And I mentioned the 64 Army is like a little nickname for people who compete or train from that gym. They have a YouTube channel. And if you are listening to this and you're like, hey, I would love to watch a bit of behind the scenes footage, maybe from that comp that I just mentioned, which a video will come up very, very shortly in the next few days, or just general weekly behind the scenes as some of these athletes progress. We are pumping content out there, and I put a video out last week. And if you're interested in that sort of thing, go check it out. Just search up 64 Army, all one word. I don't know why, but that's the way they've named the channel. And you'll find it, and you can tune into a couple of videos every week. We're going to be putting one out. So yeah, stay tuned for that if that's your cup of tea. Something non-CrossFit related, the coronavirus. If you have not heard about the coronavirus, what have you been up to? You're obviously in a bit of a hole here, and you're not tuning into the news, which I highly recommend at times because the news is extremely depressing. But okay, so the coronavirus, I just wanted to mention that I saw someone on Facebook posting about, okay, so the theory behind the coronavirus is that it was this terrible virus that's killing people, and it stemmed from some fish market, some like seafood store. And I was like, okay, whatever. Then on Facebook, an article came out, and supposedly this article was posted about 3 years ago, and it mentions a Chinese lab that was poised to study the world's most dangerous pathogens. And that is in the district that the coronavirus is broken out from. And so pretty much the theory is, from conspiracy theorists out there, that the fish market is like a scapegoat. The fish market is like, this virus did not break out from the fish market. Actually, in this crazy lab where they're hosting all these crazy deadly pathogens, some concoction of them was cooked up and somehow leaked accidentally from this dangerous lab, and now it's like spreading around the world. And a few people that I've brought that up to, they're like, that's probably legit. Like China's dodgy as hell, and even if that did happen, they will probably deny it. Like, we'll never find out exactly what happened. So New Zealand's just announced today that yesterday they announced they are not allowing any more flights from China to come to New Zealand. And I just was hearing on the news that Australia is pretty much doing the same thing. They're kicking a bunch of people over to like an island that they have there, to Christmas Island. So people are taking actions, but then actually I also heard that if you're a permanent resident of New Zealand, but you've been to China and you come back here, supposedly you have to be on pretty much house arrest for 14 days while you, make sure you don't have it. And I'm like, what do you mean? If I was sitting, I feel like that's not legit. It just seems like I feel like someone's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'll just pop down to the dairy, get a wee thing of milk, and like, who's monitoring that? I just feel like it's a pretty sloppy way to manage the outbreak of this virus. But what do you do? I don't know. It's confusing. Last update before I wrap it up. The podcast is humming along with interviews. If you missed the first interview, it was with Nicole last week, my wonderful wife. We've got another one lined up for 2 days' time, and then a bunch of other ones lined up for really each week. I'm going to be able to put out an interview as well, which is going to be mean. And part of the kit is slowly trickling in. Here we have, if you're watching the video version, my Zoom H6 recorder has turned up. In the last week, we have cables, the mics should be here today, so I can start just really even doing these solo sessions on the fly. And I'm super duper pumped. It's going to be mint. On that note, I have a bucket load of work to do this week, and it's just mainly a lot of editing. One shoot on the Wednesday, but mainly it's just a truckload of editing to catch up on. So it might just be a bit of head down, doing the mahi, but sneaking in a gym session every day because I'm #addicted. So I'm kind of pumped for a week of work, pumped to put the head down, just get on top of a bunch of jobs. All the while, the Buskers Festival, the Bread and Circus World Buskers Festival that's happening in Christchurch, that is still ticking over. I've got a couple of shoots for that this week as well. So if you have not gotten out and about to see any of the street shows, that's priority number one. If you just find some time to hit some of the street shows, do have a bit of a wander, grab a bite to eat in the city. How good. It's a nice time of year. Speaking of that, it was like 34 degrees yesterday in Christchurch, and it sounds like it's going to be another doozy today. It's like super duper early this morning. It's about 7 o'clock, and it's already stonkingly hot. So you stay dry, you stay safe out there. I don't know why I said dry, because it's going to be dry. I'm losing the plot. On that note, cheers. Have a good week. And if you have not tuned in already to us on Instagram, that's a real simple, easy way to watch these videos. IGTV, I chuck these ones up and you can just tune in and see what I'm up to. I might slip in a couple of videos in this episode or coming episodes. So if you're more of a visual person, you want to see videos of the CrossFit comp or some images that I found about the coronavirus, for example, in the coming weeks, I will be slinking those into episodes. That's another way to tune into it. But if you want to leave us a review, I would love you to chuck us a cheeky wee review this year, #2020, and just let us know what you think of the podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Bye.